Okay, folks, I put it out on the Facebook poll to see what y'all wanted me to do first. If you wanted me to do the little troll thingy or a character. This is something I ran across in a Woodcarving Illustrated magazine a long time ago. I cannot remember who did it, but this is not my original idea. I wish it was, but I haven't seen it on YouTube. There's 3 different ways you can start this project. These are all 1x. 1 by 1.5, 1 by 3, and 1 by I think 5. The way I prefer to do it is to either with the 3 or the 5 inch. And what the reason for it is, if you use this, that's as big as the entire carving. Not necessarily though, because if you use a bigger block, it'll be a bigger piece. In other words, what you're going to do is you're going to go 1.5 times the size of your stock. So if it's a 2 by 2, then you'll want to go 2. Yeah, if it's a 1 by 1, you want to go 1.5. Okay. If it's a 2 by 2, you'll go 3. You know, thus 4 and the so. What we'll do is we'll lay it off. Okay. So we're gonna make a tick mark and use our square because it's just easier that way at 1.5. Okay. And then we'll use our square. The reason and this line needs to be pretty darn straight all the way around it, because this line right here is the line that you're gonna use whatever method that you choose to cut it off at. I would, I'm a fan of the Irwin pull saw, or anybody's pull saw for that matter. It just makes things easy and it cuts really straight and true. But if you wanted to use a chop saw, you could do so. So we're going to lay it off at 1.5, bring it all the way around. That way when we go to cut it and carve it, we know not to go below this line. Okay, so now it's true all the way around. And the next thing we're going to do is you're going to decide which one of these you want the front to be, and you work off the corner with this project. So your corner is going to end up being your nose, and your corners are going to end up being the tips of your ears up here. So we'll say we're going to work off of this side. You want to draw a line from one ear all the way over to the other ear. The first thing we're going to do is establish the depth of our nose. And I always make the depth of my nose a little bit bigger than what I intend on using, because you can always remove off the bottom of the nose. You can't ever put it back on. So what we're going to do, what's that measurement? I guess if you're working off of a 1 by 1, this is 7/8. This is 7/8 from the top. Is this line, and I'm gonna make it a little broader and a little further down the piece than I would actually want it. And I use my finger as a stop gauge. You'll see right here, I just match the tip of my Sharpie to there, and then I run my index finger, my middle finger down. And as long as I don't move this position, it's going to be the same on both sides. Okay, I'm going to use that same measurement over here on the ears, and you want to go in the front and to the back on both sides. Okay, now we're going to take these measurements. We're actually going to, let's draw the nose on both sides, the front and the back. You're not going to use this as a reference to the back. except for running your lines. See, what we want to do is you come from this line straight across. That way we know our parameters of what to work in and what not to cut away. Okay? And I guess I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to do this. Don't do this on the back. It really doesn't matter. And then we're going to, if you want shoes, you can do this several different ways. If you want to put like some little shoes or sneakers, or even like a little foot with some claws on it, you need to go ahead and block that out now. And I generally carve mine with little tennis shoes on. So we'll block that out now. And it's the same width as the ear, okay? And then we'll have to just pick our depth. And right there is good. That's about, here, let's see, 1/4 inch. Come up 1/4 inch from your bottom line, and we'll do like so. Now that's going to be our little feet or shoes, what have you. Okay. And once we get it laid off, we'll get our glove and our thumb protector on. Because this is kind of a small carving, but like I say, you just, whatever dimension square stock you choose to use, you just want to go 1.5 times. So I've got a 1 by 1 by 5 here. I'm gonna go 1.5 inches deep. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna marker in our nose. We're not gonna go much further than marking it in yet. We're gonna make a push cut right in, and then we're gonna relieve underneath that nose. Okay? And then we're going to leave that alone for a while. We just want to establish what is the front and what is going to be the back, because it would really not be good if we cut the back, cut the nose off thinking it was our back. So right here we're going to come down and we're going to start rounding the back of his little head here. Okay, now look, if you want to add like a wizard's hat, you do these same dimensions, just add 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch up here, and you'll follow this same exact process. So you could do a little wizard's hat, you could put a little Santa hat on him, whatever, you let your imagination tell you what it wants you to do. And we're just going to round to those two marks right here. Okay, see how I stopped short of my marks? Now we're going to take our knife, we're going to hold on this line, and we're just going to ease down. Be careful here, because you'll split the ears smooth off of him. Just take a little small stop cut. See, I'm not going very deep, just something to get us working. Then we're going to use a pull cut. We're going to come over in here, and we're just going to ride right up next to it, and we're going to let that chip fall out. Okay, now we're going to start rounding his head here. I don't know if you can see what we're going to go from the center mark. We're going to round down, center mark, round down, but we're going to leave in contact this here. Okay, like so. Okay, and we're going to do that on both sides. Alright, so we're just going to take it and round it down. I tell you what, this Heineke Northern Basswood, I think it's from Minnesota, maybe Wisconsin, I don't know, somewhere up north. This stuff cuts like butter. If you haven't ever tried Heineke Basswood, you need to really get on the phone with them guys and order some. Okay. My knife is a old, what used to be a Ron Wells knife. Mike Shipley now makes this knife, and it's made from a really thin saw blade of some sort. I would have to imagine that it is a Sawzall blade. I think I misspoke in my last video that I make my blades out of hacksaw blades. No, never. It's too thin. I make them out of Sawzall blades, but I didn't make this one. I've made a mountain of them, but honestly, I have given most of them away, and the people that have them absolutely love them. I just keep going back to this one because it's just, I'm used to the width, the length. It's just what I know. Okay? And we're still going to continue to round the back of the head here. Okay? I'm trying to do this in a stepped off progression. Okay? We haven't even touched the front of it yet. All right? I'm going to be doing a giveaway for a old timer. I think it's the model number is a 24OT, but I'm not going to do it on this YouTube page. I'm not going to do it on the channel here. I'm going to do it on Facebook. So if you haven't went over and requested to be a member of Backyard Whittlers Facebook group and you want in on that, there will be a post over there within the next few days for you guys to get in on. I think I'm going to let the giveaway run 2 weeks. I think I'd like to have this video up about 2 weeks before I choose a winner for it. Okay, so we're just refining everything, right? And what we're going to do now is we're not going to go quite to the tip of this nose. We're going to go about where the bridge would be, right in there-ish. And we're just going to draw a subtle arc back to this. Okay? I'm self-filming this, so I'm hoping all of this is in frame. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to start our knife cut right here, and we're going to start tapering this back. In essence, it would be the forehead portion of the carving. Okay? Like so. Then we're going to come in here, do this. Now this project can be done 100% with a knife. I've done them. A V-tool sure makes it a whole lot easier, because some of these little pieces that are going to be so small when you go to put detail into them, they get very, very brittle. So if you got a really sharp V-tool, that's going to help later in the ear portion. Or if you're going to put a beard in, here in a little while you're going to get an option to do a face with a facial expression with teeth, or a grinny smile, or just a subtle frown or a scowl. You'll have to choose for yourself what you'd like to do. If you want to follow this video to the T, we're gonna put in an old crooked smile, just to make it easy. Okay. And so this is part one. And what we've done thus far is we've laid everything off. We got quarter inch for the feet, quarter inch on each side of the square. We laid the nose off at 7/8 of an inch, and we took those lines for a quarter inch and we just ran them all the way up. Now that's going to be the tips of our ears. They're going to widen out down this way, okay? But that's going to be the tips of our ears. So I'm gonna stop this one here, and we'll pick it up in part two.